Number one is playing 2 songs of vocals at the same time. Not only is this really annoying, but as humans, our brains can only process one person talking at a time or one beat at a time. So if you play 2 songs at their vocal parts at the same time, it is going to sound terrible, kind of like this. So there is a couple of ways to avoid this horrible mistake. And number one would be doing your homework. I say in all my videos that not only should you make playlists for your gigs, but inside those playlists, you should organize all your songs with cue points. So if you look over here, this song has where I'm going to start the mix, where I'm going to end the mix, where the drop is. I don't know what that is. But you could also mark where the vocals start and stop. The program I use, Djay Pro AI, has 8 cue points that you could use. So use your cue points to avoid this mistake. And I know sometimes it could be unavoidable. Maybe you, last minute, you decided to play a certain song, or someone gave you a request for a song that you're not too familiar with. And with most DJ softwares, there's a very easy solution to fix this. And that is by using Neuromix, or other DJ softwares might call it something different, like stems. But you could simply, in Djay Pro AI, you could go down here to the Neuromix tab, and if you go all the way to the left, it'll get rid of all the vocals. So you don't have to worry about having the vocals clashing, and this is a sure way that you never make that mistake. And as long as you organize your tracks, and if you are quick with Neuromix or stems, then you will be prepared for this horrible mistake. Number 2 would be redlining. So if you look at the levels here where my mouse is pointing, you could see that it turns from yellow and then it gets to red at the top. And that is because I turned the gain all the way up. So this might not be a big deal if you're just practicing in your bedroom, if you're just practicing at your house and you're using small speakers or just the speakers on your laptop or your iPad or your phone. But if you get booked to do a gig and you plug your equipment into somebody's expensive audio equipment and big speakers with a lot of bass, and you don't pay attention to your levels, you could destroy their speakers, you could blow their speakers out, or at best case, you will just sound clipped and the audio will sound terrible. It'll sound like you're listening to it on bad speakers. And this is really easy to avoid. The way I avoid it is I use the app Djay Pro AI, and they have one of the best auto gain features. So with Djay Pro AI, you almost never have to worry about adjusting the gain or worry about redlining. But one way to do it, if you're using a different software, is to keep an eye on these levels. You want them to be almost at the red, but not in the red. So there's a really fine balance. And some ways you could do this is by adjusting the bass. So if we turn the bass down, then we got a little bit less. We could turn down the bass. You could turn down the highs, but just experiment with it. And remember that louder is not always better. You want your audio to sound clear, and you want people to understand what is going on. And redlining is a great way to ruin your DJ set. Number 3 is going to be paralysis by analysis, not knowing what song to play next. This is what DJing is all about. You could do the best DJ tricks, you could be the scratch master, you could know all the effects, but if you don't play the right song for the right people that are on the dance floor at that moment, then you will not have a good gig. So there are a couple of ways to avoid this. Number 1 is, like I always say, do your homework. When you get booked for a gig, make sure you do your research. So there are plenty of ways to do your research. Number one is, what kind of gig is it? Is it a wedding? Is it a gig at the local bar? Is it a big festival? What kind of people are probably going to be there? So if it's somebody's 50th birthday party, you know what kind of people are probably going to be there. So you don't want to be playing something like Cardi B or something that's going to be inappropriate. So as soon as you find out about the gig, start making your playlist. Make a specific playlist for that gig. I do tell you guys to make like your go-to playlist, maybe 80s, 90s, 2000s rap, and make your playlist how you want it. That makes sense to you. But as soon as you find out about a gig, make a playlist. Make sure you have at least double or maybe 60 or 70% more songs than you need. There's very easy ways to tell. In Djay Pro AI, if you go to a playlist, it'll say it right here. So up here for this example, it's 4 songs, 4 minutes. So if you're doing a 2-hour gig, you're going to want something like 5, 6, maybe 7 hours of music, but more is not always better. So you don't want to have for a 2-hour gig, you don't want to have like 20 hours worth of songs, because then you'll be sitting there like an accountant looking through all your songs trying to find the one to play. So it's a really fine balance, but once you find that balance, it'll be good. And if you do your research and you have the more experience you get at playing gigs and reading the crowd, then you will always know what song to play next. And while you're mixing, while one song is playing, always have it in your head. Always be thinking, what song am I going to play next? It's very important. And once you have that mindset, it'll make everything else so much easier for you when it comes to picking the song. And don't be afraid to pick the wrong song. If you pick the wrong song, you could always filter it out and play another song, or you could echo it out and play another song. But you just don't want to be caught with no song playing and the music ends and everyone looks at you and it's embarrassing. Number 4 is something that I still struggle with, and it's something that I really struggled with when I first started, and that was simply just doing too much, doing too many effects, doing too much scratching, doing too many fancy mixes. For the most part, unless you're like a famous DJ known for scratching and known for doing these performances and turntablism, the people that you're going to be DJing for just want to listen to the music that they like. Yeah, they want it to blend together smoothly, but you don't need to be scratch master, scratching over everything. You don't need to be adding a flanger on everything and doing all these effects. Just simply play the songs for the people. You could throw in some subtle tricks if you could throw in some scratching, but when it comes to effects, scratching, and DJ tricks, it is very important to know that less is more, and just don't overdo it, and everyone will be happy, and you'll have less work to do, and you could focus more on playing the right song and reading the crowd. So let me know in the comments if you guys suffer from any of these mistakes, and feel free to ask me any questions in the comments over email or even on Instagram. I try to get back to all my comments as soon as possible. Really great to see this community growing. When I first started this channel, I really wanted to build a community of people that were interested in DJing with the iPad and the future of DJing. And as it keeps growing, it's just so exciting to see so many like-minded people that are learning and growing from the channel. So thank you guys so much. It really means a lot to me. I've been working on YouTube for over 10 years, and now that it's slowly starting to actually take off, it's just the greatest feeling in the world. So thank you guys so much. It really means a lot to me, and I couldn't have done it without you.